Hi, this is Thresden, and this is part 3 of an ESO Legacy of the Bretons Epilogue walkthrough. In the previous episode, there was some problems with my microphone audio being delayed, so I'm going to try to wait maybe 2 seconds after every dialogue option. Hopefully that will fix the problem and keep me from talking over the NPCs. But if you didn't see the last episode, we defeated Lord Bacaro Valoris. So, looks like we defeated the Ascendant Order once and for all. But we still have to deal with these peace talks to try to end the Three Banners War. So I assume that's what we're going to start working on now.
We did well, dear, but the work isn't finished yet. I could use a hand if you're still so inclined.
What do you need me to do, Lady Arabelle?
While I return to High Isle and make final preparations for the peace talks to commence, I'd like you to help Druid Laurel with one more thing. When you're finished, meet me at Mandrake Manor.
What kind of help does Druid Laurel need?
I'll let her give you the details. I will say this, though. You've certainly made an impression on the Stone Lord Druids, dear.
I'll help Druid Laurel and then meet you at Mandrake Manor.
Druid Laurel will tell you what she needs. Just don't dawdle. Finish things here, then meet me on High Isle. We've had the Alliance leaders waiting quite long enough, and I have to make some arrangements with the Society of the Steadfast.
The Society of the Steadfast? You really still want to work with Lord Bacaro's organization?
Despite Lord Bacaro's betrayal, the Society has done good work here in the Sisters and back in Tamriel. I'd hate to lose that, but you're quite correct. I need to determine if the Society is trustworthy.
How will you do that?
I'll start by meeting with Captain Marguerite. The Society attracted many good people who have done a lot of good work. I won't see that die with Bacaro. I want the organization to continue if at all possible.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna have to figure out who was involved in the deception and who wasn't.
Lady Arabelle said she could spare you, and I appreciate the help. Before Frii was taken by Lord Bacaro, they gave me something. Told me what to do with it if they didn't return. I thought Frii was just being cautious, but I think they knew.
What do you think Frii knew?
That they weren't coming back. Frii gave me a pouch of soil. They said it was special. That they prepared it as part of their purpose. You remember how Frii would go on and on about that. Anyway, they asked me to do something after they were gone.
What did Frii ask you to do?
They asked me to go to the Overlook north of Glimmertarn, to sprinkle the soil from the pouch there. I made a promise, and I'd like you to fulfill it with me. I think Frii would want you to be a part of this. Will you help me, friend?
Sure, absolutely. I'll meet you at the Overlook north of Glimmertarn, Laurel.
Here, take the pouch of soil. There's a beautiful tree by the Overlook, tall and majestic. I think that's the perfect place to honor Frii's wishes. I'll meet you there.
Is there anything special about the soil in this pouch?
Frii said they spent a long time preparing it. That it was a part of them. A part of Galen. A part of the Druids. I don't know if they meant that literally or figuratively. It wasn't always easy to understand Frii and the ways of a nature spirit.
Yeah, no kidding. Anything else I should know about the tree?
Frii enjoyed sitting under it. I think they felt a connection to it, but I'm not really sure. The ways of nature spirits are very different from the things we know. They said to sprinkle the soil, and I think that's the perfect place to do it.
All right, let's do it.
Anyone needs me, I'll be right here.
I really should set up another...
What are these people out here?
Was all this bloodshed really the result of a druidic prophecy, Galfin?
I'm afraid so, Frida. Sometimes religious conviction can drive even the best of us to do terrible things.
Well, at least the Ascendant Lord has been defeated. And we found each other, Galfin. That's the sunlight breaking through the clouds.
Aww. So I'm glad they're saying something different now.
The spirit of Mount Firesong has quieted and the volcano has been destroyed. I assume we have you to thank for that? Now that peace is restored, I've asked Feda to come away with me. I hope she agrees. I think the life of a druid will suit her.
Yeah, it was obvious he had a thing for her.
After all this, I think I'm going to take Galpin up on his offer and find a quiet spot out in the wilderness to settle down. What do you think? Can a former knight and a druid find a place to be happy? Couldn't hurt to try.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Happy to see that.
Rogue knights, druid prophecies, erupting volcanoes. If it's not one thing, it's another.
Surely the mainland doesn't have these kinds of problems. It's just lucky for us a mainlander hero was around to lend a hand.
Still, I'm seriously reconsidering my decision to move to the archipelago. I was promised sun and waves, not near-death experiences. As much as I love this archipelago, too much violence and heartache has occurred for me to truly feel safe here again. I suppose it's time to pack up and return to my family estate in Camlorn. Nothing terrible ever happens there.
I don't know where Camlorn is, but the mainland is even more dangerous. There's dark anchors trying to grab Nirn and pull it into Cold Harbor. You don't want to go there. It's safer here.
I don't know about you, but this whole affair has shaken my confidence in island living. I have half a mind to return to the mainland. I hear the Telvanni Peninsula is pleasant this time of year.
Nope, they have slavery there, and it's bad. I've been there. This character's been there. Alright, so where are we going? We're going here, to the Overlook. I think that's north of Glimmertarn?
Amazing. I have to write Magister Erin about this one.
That's the tree. Frii was quite fond of it. Go ahead and sprinkle the soil around its base. I thought for sure something would happen, but this is wonderful. Friend,
Yeah.
let me tell you what Frii has done. Did you see what happened, friend? What Frii asked us to do with that pouch of soil? It's a miracle.
You need to explain this to me, Laurel.
Of course. After everything you've done for us, I still forget sometimes that you're not a druid. Frii had a special connection to the sacred seeds. They used their power as a nature spirit, as the sower, to put some of that magic into the soil.
So that means...
It means that the sacred seeds aren't gone. That the Druid King's regalia will return. Someday. Until that time, we'll need to protect this tree. Nurture it. I'll make sure that all the circles know. We'll find a way to do it together.
Do you think all the druid circles can be trusted?
Trust has to start somewhere. But we still need to gather the elders and form a new Drafa. After that, I'll broach the subject. In the meantime, I'll commune with the tree, with the growing seeds. And I'll be here when they finally blossom.
Is there anything else I can help you with, Laurel?
I think that's everything, my friend. Thanks again for helping me honor Frii's request. I hope they find peace and happiness inside the volcano. Anyway, I think you should head back to High Isle now. I know Lady Arabelle is eager to begin the talks.
Is there anything else we can do for Frii?
Frii made their decision. Without their sacrifice, none of us would have survived the volcano's eruption. I'll find time to go to Mount Firesong, to commune with the new spirit of the volcano. Sometimes bound spirits respond. Sometimes they don't.
You don't think Frii will talk to you?
Oh, Frii will commune with me if they're able. But every spirit binding is different. Some can communicate freely, others can only share impressions. And then there are the ones that more or less slumber, as Frii did before they were awakened.
Yeah, that's very sad. But again, I feel like that was kind of Frii's destiny from the beginning. Oh, I need to go to High Isle, I think she said. Alright. Let's head back to High Isle. It's telling me to leave the city. Wait, no, Mandrake Manor. Mandrake Manor's over here. I don't need to leave the city, I'm fine.
I assure you, Lady Arabelle, I'm more committed than ever to the Society of the Steadfast's mission of peace.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Captain. Ah, good, you're back.
I'm as surprised and appalled by the revelations as you and Lady Arabelle. I believed in Lord Bacaro, trusted him. He betrayed us all. I swear to you the Society of the Steadfast played no part in his grand schemes.
Captain Marguerite and I were just having the most illuminating discussion, dear. Other than some misdirection at the end, Lord Bacaro never allowed his clandestine activities with the Ascendant Order to spill over into the Society of the Steadfast.
Are you confident, Arabelle? Sorry, my mouse, I lost control of my mouse there for a second.
Yes, dear, I am. Captain Marguerite's reputation is impeccable, and I've begun to study their ledgers. Nothing is amiss. I'll get someone I trust to perform a thorough investigation, but the Society has done too much good to shut it down now.
And are we ready to start the peace talks?
Just about. Preparations are underway at All Flags Islet, but I have a task for you. I'd like you to invite Count Stefan, Druid Laurel, and Druid Ravana for the talks. They deserve to have a voice in the proceedings. Captain Zaji and Casca, too.
You really bad lag all of a sudden. You want Zaji and Casca to participate in the peace talks?
I think Zaji and Casca should get to see the negotiations unfold, but to have them participate, oh goodness no, dear. So, invite Stefan, Laurel, and the rest, and remind Stefan I'm depending on House Mornard for added security.
Where can I find all these people?
Count Stefan will be at Castle Mornard, and Druid Laurel should be in the Vines District in Bastille. Zaji's likely at the docks here in Gonfalon Bay, and Druid Ravana is at her workshop here on High Isle, just west of the city.
Okay, tell me more about the peace talks.
We've been trying to get the leaders of all three alliances to the table since this whole affair began. It's been sponsored by the Society of the Steadfast. There are no guarantees, but this is our best chance to end the Three Banners War.
What happens when the leaders learn about Lord Bacaro's betrayal?
I won't keep that a secret from High King Emmerich and the others, but I will urge them to see the talks through, despite their less than honorable beginnings. This is a real chance for lasting peace, and I damn well plan to make that happen.
All right, great. Who is this person, and why can't I... Oh, it's a player, okay. That makes sense. Alright, who should I try to find first? This is saying nobody's in the city. Okay.
Let's go fast.
Actually, it looks like it's sending me... It's like maybe it's sending me to the docks. Okay, there's a ship here that'll take me to Vastir. And now it's sending me back to the ship. Okay, so obviously I'm not going back. Because I do see another quest marker over here.
Blight it all. We have to find a way for the circles to work together.
The Elder Tide are willing, but we have yet to choose new leaders, and we still distrust the Fire Song.
The Fire Song are aware of our mistakes. We don't expect forgiveness, but we want a chance to make amends. I promise our next leader will have less aggressive aspirations.
I understand what Laurel is trying to do here. I even hope it works. Still, there are those among my circle who are not ready to let go of their anger with the Fire Song.
Many of us knew Archdruid Orlaith was leading our circle down a dark path, and we did nothing. I would understand if the Stone Lord and the Elder Tide never trusted the Fire Song Circle again.
Blight and damnation. Trying to get the Druid circles to agree on anything is like trying to herd fawns. But you're not here to deal with my problems. Not this time. What can I do for you, my friend?
Lady Arabelle wants you to represent the Druids of Galen at the peace talks.
Really? After you just saw my negotiating skills in action? Wait, you're serious? Well, why not? I definitely want what's best for my people. And maybe I can learn something watching the Alliance leaders. I'll be happy to attend.
Good. We'll see you at All Flags Islet on High Isle.
And just between us, the talks with the Druid circles aren't going too badly. I just lose patience sometimes. I want everything to happen right now. But flowers blossom when they're ready, am I right?
You're right, Druid Laurel. How are you and Count Stefan getting along?
What? Did Stefan say something? What are you asking? Count Stefan and I are getting along fine. Never better. And I'd rather not talk about this at the moment, if that's all the same to you.
All right. If I remember correctly, I think, like, they dated at one point, but then couldn't be together because of political issues or something. But I guess that's all gone now that his father is dead and he's the,
Rogue knights, druid prophecies, erupting volcanoes. If it's not
yeah, we've
one
already
thing,
seen that.
it's
Okay.
another.
Wait,
Surely
I need
the
to
mainland
figure
doesn't
out.
have these kinds of problems. It's just
Okay,
looking
so
for us a
there's
mainlander
another
hero was around to lend a hand.
person over here.
I'm seriously reconsidering.
Was all this bloodshed really the result of a druidic prophecy, Galfin?
I'm afraid so, Frida. Sometimes religious conviction can drive even the best of us to do terrible things.
Well, at least the Ascendant...
I think this castle's haunted.
Captain Marguerite was as good as her word. Get those supplies distributed at once.
Right away, Count Stefan.
Friend, welcome back to Castle Mornard.
Thank you.
Lady Arabelle told me to trust Captain Marguerite, and so far so good. The Society of the Steadfast restarted their relief efforts, and things have been moving smoothly ever since. But what brings you back to Galen, friend?
Lady Arabelle would like you to represent Galen at the peace talks.
Does she now? And what role would a minor count play in discussions concerning the greater fate of all of Tamriel? No, forgive me, friend. It's just been a lot lately. Of course I'll attend. Is there anything Lady Arabelle needs of me?
She also requests that you bring a contingent of House Mornard knights.
Ah, yes. After all this trouble, such a request isn't all that surprising. Very well. Tell Lady Arabelle Count Stefan shall attend the peace talks with a contingent of his finest knights at his side. Will that do?
Perfectly. We'll see you at All Flags Islet, Count Stefan.
How my father ever accomplished anything with the constant parade of supplicants and requests, I'll never understand. Or Archdruid Revolve, for that matter. Now I know what it's like when everyone is constantly vying for a moment of your attention.
Is it really that bad, being the Count, Stefan?
No, it's not all that bad. Stressful, yes, but rewarding in its own way. You know, I really do like making decisions that help people. And I've even gotten the nobles and druids to sit down together. Once. Maybe my plans will work out after all.
All right. 2 more allies we've got to talk to. Who needs stairways?
Do you hear the
That is Gonfalon. So let's go there.
Make sure the Pounce is ready to sail the moment Queen Irene calls for us.
The Pounce is ready. I could use some quiet time for a change.
Maybe you spoke too soon, Casca. Look who it is.
You're just in time, Five Claw. We're about to head out to the Pounce. Zaji wants her ready to sail at a moment's notice.
Isn't Queen Irene going to wait until the peace talks conclude before you set sail?
Yes, but according to Zaji, the Queen's in a terrible mood. He thinks she'll raise anchor and leave the proceedings the first time something stupid comes out of Emmerich or Ernskar's mouth. Hence, our sudden burst of activity.
Okay.
Always a pleasure, Five Claw, but you also tend to bring trouble to Zaji. And more work. So what is it this time? A Peryite cult? Vampire armies from deep underground, what?
Lady Arabelle would like you and Casca to attend the peace talks, as observers and guards.
Zaji and Casca are invited? Well, as expected, of course. After all Zaji has done, it is only natural to want him there to observe, and to keep the Queen and the others safe. But Casca too, really? Well, very well, if Lady Arabelle insists.
We'll see you on All Flags Islet, Zaji.
Zaji and Casca will leave for the islet at once, and will bring along a few of the Pounce's crew. A little extra muscle never hurts, yes?
Yes? Do you think the peace talks have any chance of success, Zaji?
There is always a chance, Five Claw. It may be very, very small. So small that you cannot see it with the naked eye, but it is there nonetheless. This one does hope it works out, though. War is a terrible business indeed.
It is. That it is.
Woohoo!
Oh, I'm lagging again.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. I have fresh fish for you.
Alright, where is the... It's northeast of here. We're gonna go to that one Druid's workshop. Can't remember her name, but she's been very helpful to us.
Friend,
Druid Ravana.
what a pleasant surprise. What brings you back here so soon, friend? Not another danger to the archipelago, I hope.
Lady Arabelle wants you to represent the Stone Lord Druids of High Isle at the peace talks.
I'm neither an elder nor an archdruid. Shouldn't Lady Arabelle invite one of them? Most of the surviving senior members of the Circle are deep in discussions about the Dreyfa. Very well. Tell her I'll attend the talks.
Good. I'll see you on All Flags Islet.
I'm pleased that Lady Arabelle thought to include the Druids of the archipelago in the peace talks. As you have seen, events on the mainland reach even to our distant shores. Still, I wish we had archdruids or elders available for the task.
Are you interested in becoming an elder or an archdruid, Ravana?
Perhaps one day, but I'm much too young to be called an elder. Don't you agree? As for archdruid, one doesn't just receive that accolade. Only druids of immense presence and power ever achieve such a rank. Will I someday? We shall see.
I will be happy to see that day when it comes. Alright, so we need to go to All Flags Islet. Where we dealt with Stibbins and what's her name? That was our first adventure there at All Flags Islet. But then we defended the area from an attack later on. So this is sort of our third adventure at this place.
Zaji and Casca have arrived! The party may now begin! All right, Zaji supposes they should finish the peace talks first, then the party.
Yes.
Five Claw! Isn't this exciting? Oh, Lady Arabelle said to send you into Memorial Hall as soon as you arrived. She definitely wants to talk to you.
Okay, let's go. Oh, we got more people here. Everybody's gathering.
You know, this is my first visit to this islet. It was closed off and abandoned for so long. I'm glad to see the efforts they've done to renovate it and make it presentable. Don't mind me, I ramble when I get nervous.
All right.
Hello, mate. I understand that what's about to happen here is in no small part because of you. Don't mind me. I'm just an observer. The Mages Guild rightly sent Valencia to represent our interests here.
Okay. And are these people going to talk to me? No, they're just guards. They're doing their duty, staying silent. The Great Hall of All Flags Castle will be the perfect place to gather all the participants. Oh.
Over here, dear. Time to get this conference started. I see everyone has arrived. Well done, dear. And I did my part as well. The Alliance leaders are already downstairs.
Did you have any trouble getting the leaders here?
Oh, just the usual hemming and hawing. I just applied my natural charisma and threatened them with bodily harm. The leaders do want a word with you, though, if you're willing to indulge them.
Of course. I'd be happy to talk to the Alliance leaders.
I'm pleased that Lady Arabelle thought to include the Druids of the archipelago in the peace talks. As you have seen, events on the mainland reach even to our distant shores. Still, I wish we had archdruids or elders available for the task.
Count?
I heard what Lady Arabelle told you. Well, you can't keep the leaders of the three alliances waiting. That's a capital offense, I believe. Go on downstairs and present yourself. We can catch up later.
Let's let's talk to the Queen first.
I like to think I'm not easily fooled. But not in 1,000 years would I have guessed that Lord Bacaro was the secret leader of the Ascendant Order. No one argued more eloquently for a lasting peace than he did.
Will the peace talks still take place?
The revelation that these talks were merely part of the Ascendant Lord's plan to seize power makes it difficult. But as far as we can tell, the Society of the Steadfast Intentions are pure. And I think Lord Bacaro might have outsmarted himself.
Outsmarted himself? How?
Bacaro wanted to prove his worth. Show us that by blood and circumstance, he was the best suited to take power. Instead, through his actions as the Ascendant Lord, Emmerich, Ansgar, and I learned that we could actually work together.
So you think peace is still possible?
I think so, yes. I've come to believe that Emmerich and Ansgar want peace as badly as I do, and I'm willing to see where these discussions lead. We may not come to any conclusions, but isn't the possibility worth the effort? I think it is.
Yeah, I do too.
There you are. And the hero of the day again. I knew we weren't done with the Ascendant Order after the assault on All Flags Islet. But I never imagined it was Lord Bacaro who betrayed us.
Are you heading back to Windhelm now?
That's what my father would expect. But I don't feel that I'm quite done here yet. Nothing in my instructions covers what's happened so far. And Lord Bacaro's treachery calls into question the very sanctity of these peace talks.
So the peace talks are a failure?
I wouldn't say that. I came here to do a job, and I think it can still be done. I plan to send word to the Skull King, tell him I'm staying, at least as long as Emmerich and Irene agree. Lord Bacaro may have deceived us, but peace is still possible.
Will Yoren the Skull King agree with that decision?
He won't be happy about the way Lord Bacaro manipulated him. But when I explain what happened here, and what you did, friend, he'll support my decision. He really is an excellent king, my father. But don't tell him I said that.
Your secret's safe with me.
Lord Bacaro, a villain. Rogue knights collaborating with druids. And what was that about sea elves? This visit to the archipelago has been one surprise after another. I owe you a lot, friend. You saved my life, and you saved my realm.
Saved your realm?
I've ignored the druids of the archipelago for too long. The few I've met over the years seem, well, quaint, eccentric. I thought their insistence on clinging to the ancient ways was harmless. But I forgot about the dark roots of their tradition.
Dark roots?
The weirds of High Rock distanced themselves from politics, but the druids of old were a different breed. They used fearsome magic to rule over the early Bretons, either directly or from behind the scenes, and they jealously guarded their power.
Do you plan to go forward with the peace talks?
Why in oblivion not? I've been here this long. What's another few days? If the Breton legacy has a dark side, it also shows courage and commitment. If Irene and Ansgar are willing to talk, so am I. But I wonder if Lord Bacaro had the right idea.
You think Lord Bacaro was right?
Oh, not about the whole Ascendant Lord and murder thing, but about finding someone other than one of us to sit on the throne. I can't imagine Irene or Yoren agreeing to bow down to me willingly, and I feel the same way. We'll just have to see.
Your attention, please. Lady Arabelle requests that everyone join her in the reception hall.
All right, start walking. Nobody's gonna go in? Oh, here they go. So you're just gonna stand at the door and not go in? Really?
Friend, may we speak? Finally, we get a moment to ourselves. I did want to speak with you before Lady Arabelle gets on with the important business.
What do you want to talk about, Count Stefan?
I wanted... Damn, this went better in my head. I've never been as good at speaking my mind as my father was, or Archdruid Raval. Now, he was an orator. Sorry, I'm babbling. Let me start over. Thank you for everything, my friend.
You don't need to thank me, Count Stefan.
Now don't start with that sort of nonsense. Of course I need to thank you. You saved us all. What kind of count would I be? What sort of friend? If I didn't let you know how much what you've done for us means to me.
I thank you.
All right, I've taken up enough of your time. I know how eager Lady Arabelle is to get the peace talks underway. We'll talk later. Now go speak to Lady Arabelle and let her know everything is ready for her to begin.
All right, I'll go speak to Lady Arabelle.
Have I mentioned how much I detest public speaking? Goes against all my training as a spy and agent of the king. I'm supposed to hear all the important bits of dialogue, not recite them. Ah, well, before all that, I want to share something with you.
You don't need to do that, Lady Arabelle. I already know what you're about to share with me.
Yes, I do. As we conclude this business with Lord Bacaro and the Ascendant Order, I want you to know how much your help has meant to me. Take this as payments for services above and beyond the call of duty. Now, I have a speech to deliver, my dear.
Oh, I thought she was going to tell us that she was, Investigator Vale or whatever. So I got the Sower's Sorrow Healing Staff, part of the Back Alley Gourmand set, and I don't think... Well, looks like I do already have that piece, okay? And then we're going to get an outfit style, an Ascendant Lord Greatsword. That's great. That's probably going to look pretty cool.
We stand here today because of Lord Bacaro, what he brought together through the Society of the Steadfast, and what he tried to bring about as the Ascendant Lord. Instead of dividing us, instead of defeating and conquering us, he showed us what's possible when we work side by side. And through the courage and sacrifice of many of the people gathered here, as well as the nature spirit Frii, we persevered and won the day. Now to our royal guests, I say, let's recognize our friend, and then start the talks.
Our friend has performed above the call of duty. I name them Champion of the Covenant.
Not so fast, Emmerich. I name them Champion of the Dominion.
Then I name them Champion of the Pact.
Your Majesties, please. All of that would never fit on the medal. Let's just agree on Champion of the Alliances, shall we?
Oh, very well.
I can live with that.
If you insist.
Do I actually get the title? Really? I mean, that would be great. So here is the, where is it? Wait, why do I not have it? Oh, there it is. Alright, that is a cool looking sword. I guess there's an Ascendant outfit style? Defeating the final boss in Shipwright's Regret. Okay. Oh, we have to... I think that's a dungeon. I'd have to farm this from the dungeon. And then I guess the outfit would match. Oh, I didn't mean to make him spin there. So we got all the matching gear. That's what we would look like. Pretty cool. I don't really get the colors, though. I mean, if it's Ascendant Order, it should be red. Okay, so this is the point in the story where we go around and we talk to everybody at the party.
This is the part of the story I hate the most, when we must inevitably say goodbye. As much as I try to avoid it, I have a terrible habit of growing quite attached to the people I work with. All that said, I will miss you most emphatically, my dear.
What's next for Lady Arabelle?
My contract with the Society of the Steadfast doesn't end until the peace talks conclude, and who knows how long the Alliance leaders will yell at each other now that they've finally started. After that, some travel, some writing, some time to relax.
Do you think these talks will end the Three Banners War?
Truthfully, I'm not sure. I hope Emmerich and the others can work something out. There's been more than enough blood spilled over the Ruby Throne for my taste. Alas, things like this aren't up to me. I do think there's a chance, though, thanks to you.
Will you look for another mystery to solve?
I rarely have to look, dear. They seek me out. I would like a little time to recover from this ordeal, though. My old bones don't spring back like they once did. And I really want to find someone to, let's say, share a bottle or two with. Yes?
I get what you're saying. What about Investigator Vale? Is that what you're going to write?
These accusations that I'm some clandestine writer of tawdry thrillers are beginning to rankle, dear. I understand that the next Vale novel will feature an unlikely location, a new romantic interest, and a villain of epic proportions. Or so I heard.
Yeah, so she's gonna write a book about this. Cool.
I assume you're off on another adventure after this. Take me with you. I'm not sure I'm ready to deal with the responsibilities that come with my new title.
You'd really set aside the leadership of House Mornard?
No. Both my father and Archdruid Reval taught me better than that. It is tempting, though, to pick a direction and just go. But there are challenges to take on right here in the archipelago. I think I'm actually looking forward to them.
Do you think you'll ever reconcile your dual heritages?
Dual heritages? Do you refer to Bretons being half-elf, or are you talking about my noble versus druid upbringing? Well, either way, there's nothing to reconcile. All of that is a part of me. Makes me who I am. If anything, I want to make use of it all.
Will House Mornard take on a bigger role in the governing of the Sisters?
I think I have more than enough on my plate with Galen and building better relations with the Druids. But I don't believe in the feud that has plagued the noble houses of the Sisters for years. If High Isle needs help, House Mornard will provide it.
And what about Druid Laurel?
After all that has happened, I suppose I can confide in you. I'm going to ask Druid Laurel to stay in Vastir. Help me as a liaison between the city and the Druid circles. And if we also find time to renew a friendship of old, well, we shall see.
All right, good to hear. Herod
What
Birian.
an inspiration you are. So productive and efficient. Watching your promotion from lowly guard to a mineral surveyor to savior of the Isles gives me hope. It also makes me a bit jealous. I worked so hard. I hope my efforts pay off financially.
Do you have plans for yourself?
Naturally. One must always stay working. Maximizing effort means increased income and respect. I should offer my services to all the assembled dignitaries. That's how I get my name out there.
How did the mineral survey of Impervine go?
Safely and productively, thanks to you. I found a rich vein of ebony that quite pleased House Mornard. I assume they'll start mining right away. If only I could receive a cut of those profits. But I know they'll spread my name to new clients.
He's not doing too well. He's not making too much money from his business.
I should have known you had a hand in all of this, outsider. You seem to have a knack for making hopeless situations turn out for the better.
Who's looking after Frei's path in your absence?
We left the path in the care of the animals who roam it. I have no doubt that they'll be able to deter outsiders from wandering too far into our sacred site. Other druids will join us there soon, and we will rebuild our halls of memory.
You think you can do that without the Chronicle?
What choice do we have? Our stories and history are important, perhaps now more than ever. If my understanding of recent events is true, then you know the dangers of burying or misinterpreting the past. History should be learned from, not repeated.
Yeah, I agree.
That Druid Laurel of the Stonelore Circle. She's trying to get us all to work together. I suppose these peace talks are giving us all ideas.
How are things going at Frei's path?
As well as can be expected. Petov and I are figuring out what it means to be chroniclers. I mean, without the help of a nature spirit. And we talked with Druid Laurel. I think we're going to allow druids from the other circles to come help us.
Good. Duchess Alea?
You eliminated most of my rivals, adventurer. Even the few I once considered allies. Lady Arabelle was right to involve you in the affairs of the archipelago. Things may have taken a bad turn without your intervention. High Isle will remember you.
Thanks.
Hey, good looking. Did you miss me?
I thought you left, Jakarn. What are you doing here?
I did go back to the mainland, but a new opportunity went sideways and it seemed prudent to disappear again. You know how it is. And I never miss a party. That's one of the 3 inalienable rules I live by. The other 2 fluctuate, depending.
Will you stick around after the party?
I might. I would like to see how the peace talks turn out. And Lady Arabelle implied she might have more work for me. Something more substantial than ferrying messages. I think she plans to ask me to be her partner. What? It could happen.
Sure. Look, my character's laughing. It's so absurd.
The Society of the Steadfast will continue to provide help wherever it is needed. Whether war or disaster, we will be there to heal, to feed, and to shelter. I give you my word. Lord Baccaro's treachery was his alone. The Society's mission remains.
Good. Alright, I'm gonna go across this row here, and then I'll go to the front.
Well, that's done. What's next for us, I wonder? I do like it here on Galen, and I enjoy spending time with Laurel and Stefan. But I'm an adventurer at heart. The sea calls to me. Perhaps we'll cross paths again, mate. Stranger things have happened.
So much death and destruction because a man spoke a few words in the ancient past. I think I may have learned as much as I care to about the Druid King. Now I need to look to the future. We all do. And we can, thanks to you.
So you're going to stop studying Druid history, Laurel?
Well, not completely. There are still mysteries to solve, secrets to learn. But I also need to concern myself with the present, the future. What's next for the Stonelore and the Druid circles? How do we move forward from here? I do love a challenge.
Do you think we'll ever see Frii again?
Frii isn't gone. They just found a new purpose. And by their actions, they calmed the volcano and saved us all. I'll go to Iphilon, try to commune with Frii. Sometimes bound spirits respond, sometimes not. But they'll know I remember, that I care.
Okay. What's next for the druids of the archipelago?
The remaining elders and archdruids are talking. They'll call a Drafa soon. Then, we'll see. We have to make sure the Fire Song return to the true path, and we have to learn to trust them. To trust each other. Again. Frii will guide us.
And what about Count Stefan?
Stefan suffered some great losses. We all did. But he's strong. He'll make a good leader for Galen. And the Druids are already responding to his overtures. Oh, you mean, that's rather personal, even for us. But Stefan and I, we'll see.
Yeah, obviously, it's going to turn out how you would expect.
You and Count Stefan have given the Elder Tide much to consider. We always guarded these islands against outsiders. Pirates, yes, but also nobles, settlers, and townsfolk. Now I see we may find friends where once we saw enemies.
All right, Druid Nevin.
My circle lost its way under Archdruid Orlaith. Some of us knew it, but we had gone too far. All we could do was fight on and hope that Orlaith's victory would be worth the price. I regret the things we did and promise to make up for it.
Once you realized, why did you keep following Archdruid Orlaith?
Prophecy and faith are powerful things, outsider. And Orlaith told very convincing stories with her words. By the time I saw the truth of where she was leading us, there was no way to oppose her. Orlaith was just too powerful.
So what happens now?
It's true that a small number of Firesong cling to Orlaith's lies. But the rest of us, we want to make amends. Work with the other circles and see what comes of Count Stefan's overtures. We'd like to be part of the future of the archipelago.
All right, let's go to the front row here, talk to the Alliance leaders.
Congratulations, friend. You earned every honor the Society and the other alliances want to bestow on you, as well as the gratitude of the Ebonheart Pact. I'll get the Skull King to issue a separate proclamation. He'll be sorry he missed all this.
All right, so I've got to check something here. Did I actually get a title that says, Hero of the Alliances? You can see I've got tons and tons of titles from playing this game for 3 years. I see 3 Thrones Defender. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't see... Maybe that's it. Maybe it's 3 Thrones Defender? I don't know. Queen Iran?
Let me add my thanks to all these accolades, my friend. Your courage and resolve stopped a true villain from gaining terrible power, and you saved many lives. You have the gratitude of the Aldmeri Dominion, and of its queen.
Thank you.
Well done, my friend. Well done. The Daggerfall Covenant will not forget your actions here in the archipelago, and on a more personal note, neither will I. Now, we can get on with these blasted talks. Finally. Thanks to you.
Alright, I'm trying to look at my phone in between conversations and see what this 3 Thrones Defender is. Quinn?
All these lords and ladies. Usually I stay out of sight around these types. I'm not sure how to act while mingling with them. It's worth it to celebrate you, partner. You always seem to show up just when you're needed.
Okay, so 3 Thrones Defender is for earning the... wait. Yeah, it's earned for completing the main story of the High Isle chapter. So it's not from finishing this story. Oh well. Did you deliver the Druid relic?
We met our contact after leaving Lanshara. I thought Umindior would take credit, but he didn't care. All he could think about was that Neri woman. The pay was good, but the experience was more important. I really think this is the life for me.
What's next for you?
Money and adventure aren't the only reason I got into this life. I have something important I need to do. Someone I need to find. I don't really want to get into it now. But if you ever land in a bar's landing, maybe we can work together again.
I will definitely play through Thieves Guild on this character at some point. I'll see you then, Quinn. Umindior?
I suppose I should offer my congratulations. Not only did you help Quen and me, but I understand you calmed the volcano. Nicely done. Maybe next you could do something about mud crabs. I really despise the shells and those weird eye stalks.
You know, about Quinn, I wonder what she says if you play Thieves Guild first. There's probably some unique dialogue. But look at all this food. I'm just gonna take all the food and drink and leave everyone else with nothing. Alright, who else do we have to talk to? We got some people in the back here. Here is Captain Sirvain, all alone in the corner.
For such a warlike people, you do seem obsessed with the notion of peace, mercenary. Sure, you and I learned to work together, this time. But the next? We're just as likely to cross swords as break bread. That's not a threat, just an observation.
Well, I hope not.
Are we ready to begin, your majesties?
I suddenly feel extremely humble.
Well, gentlemen, shall we?
I suppose we shall. We did endure much to get to this point, after all.
Then let us see how possible peace may be.
Wow, I didn't expect that to happen. I wonder how many people you have to talk to before they walk off like that. Alright, we still got 2 more people to talk to, maybe? 4 more?
Who knows? Perhaps Raz will meet a nice druid boy while he is here. This one likes plants as much as the next Khajiit. Galen really is quite beautiful, yes?
It is. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions before you rest?
Of course, of course. You would think Raz was going to curl up and fall asleep right here at your feet. Actually, that is not a bad idea.
Do you really think people will stop looking for the treasure?
Raz hopes so, Five Claw. Most folk believe the treasure was just a story anyway. And if anyone follows hints from Vastir to the caves, well, they'll have to dig out a mountainside for even a handful of coins. In this one's opinion, a job well done.
How did it feel having to deal with a former eye like that?
Not great, kitten, not great. Raz wishes he could say he was even surprised, but he's not. This war. Raz knows in his heart the Dominion is on the right side of things, but it has gone on so long, and so things like this will continue to happen.
What are the Eyes of the Queen up to these days?
Raz believes we have an operation coming up somewhere in Black Marsh. It's been some time since this one got to make friends with an Argonian. Scales and fur make such a lovely complement, don't you think?
Take care of yourself, Rasmdar. Right, so that's interesting. If we play Murkmire, I guess we might meet up with him again. I've never played Murkmire, so that's an interesting thought. Captain Zaji?
Zaji worries about the leaders. Do you know Zaji once saw Queen Irene decapitate someone with a spoon? A spoon! Ah, well, out of Zaji's paws. But if you ever need us, Five Claw, Casca will come running. Zaji too, but definitely Casca.
Alright.
Peace. I wonder if they'd really do it. I've grown to respect all 3 leaders in the time we've been assisting them, but I know these are not easy waters to sail. Anyway, if you ever need us, Five Claw, just send word to the Perfect Pounds.
Alright, I will keep that in mind. So, I believe that is everyone. We have talked to everyone, and that is the end of this Legacy of the Bretons Epilogue series, unless... No, can't go in there and talk to the Alliance leaders. So we don't know whether they're going to make peace or not. It just leaves it hanging. I thought maybe they would get into an argument and yell at each other and there would be no peace, but instead it just leaves us with kind of an open ending. Anyway, next week I'll record the final episode of the High Isle walkthrough. We're gonna do this trial right here, Dreadsail Reef, and that's gonna be the final episode of the Legacy of the Bretons series. I'll have done all of last year's content. Thanks for watching. See you next time.